Hi, everybody. It is episode 575 of PodQuest.
Hey!
It is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Druten.
Hello.
And Walnut.
Yeah, I'm mostly kind of here.
You're alive.
I'm exhausted. I'm tired.
Good. It's going to be a nice 6-hour show.
Yeah. Trust me, I did a dumb, and I streamed until 4 in the morning, knowing I had work at 8:30, or at 8 o'clock. So I didn't get to bed till 4:30, and I didn't wake up from bed until almost 9 o'clock. So, yeah, I'm running on about 4 hours of sleep, which isn't that bad, honestly, but it's starting to hit now.
No, I've definitely been there. Like, you're kind of okay in the morning, and then, like, as the day goes on, it's just, your body just gets more and more exhausted.
It was lunch. After I ate lunch, which I ended up not having time to actually cook breakfast and stuff, so I ended up just not eating breakfast. So I didn't eat until noonish. I think maybe 1 o'clock, maybe 2 when it actually showed up. And I after that, probably about 3:30, I was falling asleep at my desk. But that was like after I had gotten everything done. And I was like, all right, everything that I needed to get done today was done. I can hold stuff off for tomorrow. I can relax. I can chill. But it's the reason I don't play, like I said, it's the reason I don't play survival sim crafting games during the week. I get lost in them.
And now you know better. Kind of. Maybe.
I contemplated turning the game on while we were recording.
This guy.
Right.
I've got a lot of projects going in the game that I want to get done, and I want to be able to start using some of the things. Like,
well,
all right, so I was playing.
Focus on this.
I was playing Timberborn for anybody who was wondering, and I started stream at 7, and I ended at about 4 in the morning. And at near the end of stream, there were a few things I was working on. One of them was getting access to a mine. And it's like in a pit on this map that I chose. And inside the pit is like there's water in this pit, so you can't access the mine if it's underwater. So I had to drain the swamp basically, because it was what's called bad water in the game. And so I started draining the swamp, and it's a slow process of draining the swamp. When I get it to a certain point, and I start getting ready to drain it a little bit lower so I could finally use things, and I have a what's it called? Like, I have a little waterway that I was trying not to have water come down, and I stopped paying attention for a bit, and the water started coming down, and it filled it up halfway high. It was like 50% taller than what it was when I was done. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. So I was so frustrated because it was so close to being done, and it's so resource heavy to do that. But it's great. I have zip lines all over the place, and it's really fun. I love that game. I love it so much.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's all I can add to that conversation. I am legitimately glad that you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves to enjoy games.
Yeah, true. I didn't know what I wanted to play yesterday. I had beaten Demon Souls, and I was like, I don't know what I want to play. And I almost just decided not to stream, because I was just like, I was at a loss. Because, like, the other games I normally play on Tuesdays are, like, Repo or Peak, and it's like, those games are better with people, and the people that I'm normally playing with, they were already playing other stuff or doing other things. So I was like, alright, I'm not going to bother trying to play those. And I didn't feel like starting anything new, so, like, I went through my list and I was like, here, let's play Timberborn. Let's install Timberborn and play it, because it's been a long time since I played it. And it's a nice, cozy game.
Nice.
Yeah.
But with that, what is on the agenda?
On the agenda, we all watched The Hunt for Red October. Cobb, you watched Wednesday, Season 2, Part 1. Of course, they're breaking it into parts, of course. I'll just wait until both parts are out. And then like I said, I beat Demon Souls. So we're going to talk about my my Punchy Priest build.
Nice. Very nice. So what did you guys think of The Hunt for Red October?
Guys, I actually liked this movie.
Really?
Guys, guess what? I actually liked this movie.
When this kind of movie, it's not really a shock that you liked it.
I mean, fair, except that it's a movie. But
it's
yes.
more of a shock that I liked this movie.
Yeah, that's why I said really. Like,
yeah,
I also enjoy this movie. I think I've seen bits and pieces of this like years and years and years ago. But like not enough to really remember anything other than Sean Connery on a summary. I will say not my favorite of the Jack Ryan movies or things that I have seen. Like I think like the Harrison Ford movies are better, and I actually think the Jack Ryan Amazon show was better. At least the first season. I never did get to the second season.
Casting, I mean, I guess it works because I always thought Jack Ryan was more of an action hero and not
He's
like
not, though.
He's not, and I didn't know that. So when I started the movie and it's Alec fucking Baldwin as Jack Ryan, I'm like, that's a interesting take. And then it's just like, oh, it worked. Yeah, it worked.
It's the same way in the next 2 or 3. I forget how many Ford did. Like Harrison Ford is not really like an action hero past Last Crusade. And like even in Indiana Jones and Star Wars, like he's not your typical action hero.
No, he's not.
But like he works. I think he worked better in that particular role, in the Jack Ryan role in those movies. And I don't know exactly how the timeline and all works out because obviously, like by the time they did the other ones, like Ben Affleck was younger than Ford was in those movies, and Chris Pine was also younger, and then I'm fairly certain John Krasinski was younger as well. So like I don't know if like any of that stuff really like goes together beyond like just being like the same character. I know or I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the Amazon show is actually like the origin or whatever you want to call it for him. But like after Harrison Ford, they cast Ben Affleck when he was kind of like at kind of like the top of his like doing action movie stuffs in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And then they cast Chris Pine in a point where like he was doing a bunch of action movies. Like he did that spy action movie with the dude who played Bane in Batman. I can't remember, Tom Hardy. And he also did the Star Trek movies, which were much more action oriented than Star Trek is normally.
Yeah.
So they definitely did start like casting those movies as action hero movies, even though that's not what that character is supposed to be. He's like he's a CIA analyst. He sits at a desk.
He writes books.
Yeah.
He writes books for the CIA, yeah. But I actually like it was interesting. The whole story, like it pulled me in. I was like, okay, this is at first like it was like, all right. I going into it, I wasn't too thrilled about the fact that the Russians are speaking Russian. And it's not because like it's because I didn't want to have to read, is really what it was.
I mean,
luckily, and I was working while watching it, so obviously, like if it was all friggin' subtitled, I wouldn't have been able to watch it. But luckily, like it was like the second scene with the Russians, they both acknowledge they're Russian basically, and then they're speaking English, and it's like it's understood by me at least that they're actually speaking Russian, but they're speaking English for the view. Like,
yeah. So the thing that always kind of bugged me with like that, I actually don't mind that like suspension of disbelief. That like when they're speaking, they're actually speaking like Russian or whatever. I wish they would stop doing we all have to talk in bad accents though to get the point across. Because
I mean they did. Like did you listen to Sean Connery? He was full Scottish, even though he's from Lithuania.
Yeah, but like Sam Neill had a a Russian accent, or at least a European accent. That's
Tim
kind of what I mean.
Didn't really, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't. I think he had a little bit of one, but like it wasn't as pronounced. But like Sam Neill was the one that I noticed the most, and it's like to me that thing where the people are purposely trying to sound like they have the accent makes it sound like they're speaking English because they're using the accent versus like that suspension of disbelief that, oh no, they're Russian, they're speaking Russian, that we're just hearing it in English so that we know what's going on because it's not a Russian film. I am correct though. At the very beginning of that movie, Sean Connery speaks in Russian with his Scottish accent, right?
Well, he speaks. Yeah, I mean, but it's the same as you speaking in Spanish. You have your American English accent. But yeah. Like you can hear.
When anybody speaks in another language, they adopt a little bit of that, like the intonation of that language.
Yeah, I mean it's like, Sean Connery.
I don't say hola if I'm speaking Spanish.
No,
But
I
Sean
mean that's
Connery was a fucking Scottish man saying Russian words as a
yeah.
Scottish man, and it was
It,
funny.
it it was just it was a like Sean Connery's a great actor, but like unless it's an English speaking character, it's really hard to like English or Scottish speaking like character, like whatever Scottish language is. Like it's really hard to cast him in anything. Like, but obviously it's not because he's now played a Russian, a Spaniard, and whatever else, and a Brit. He's played a Russian, a Spaniard, and a Brit. So I'm sure he's probably played an American as well. So yeah, you can cast him in anything.
I mean, it's true. He really is the man of 1,000 voices.
Sure,
If they are
yes.
all
If
his
they're
one.
all one voice with one dialect. But like I love Sean Connery. He's great. The whole movie though, like it kept me interested. It wasn't like because it's more of a spy flick kind of thing. It's more of a spy film is what I like prescribe it.
Yeah.
And like I'm usually not big into the spy films, but it like the way that it brought you between the two, and the way that like honestly you knew like is very early on that it was like, oh, they're defecting. Like it wasn't a question of whether or not they were defecting. It was a question of whether or not you can help them defect. And that was to me, I
Yeah.
was like, all right, well that's a like I like this hook. That is just like, okay, it's not about help like pushing them to defect. It's not about like stopping a war. It's just straight up they're leaving. Like consequences be damned. They're leaving and we want to help them. And I like it pulled me in, and like the back and forth between Jack Ryan's side and the Russian sub side, like I liked how it went back and forth between the two, and how like it wasn't just one character one sided. A lot of spy films tend to be a little bit more just the spy, and you don't really see a lot of everything else until it's the big reveal where the villain is telling the spy everything that happened.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. Like overall, I thought it was a good movie, and I don't often like Alec Baldwin. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just something about him in like movies and stuff like that. I think the only thing that I can think of that I liked him in was Beetlejuice. And like, I mean, like not that he's a bad actor, just like I legitimately don't like him as like characters a lot of times, if that makes sense.
He's yeah, he's great in 30 Rock. He's
You know,
great in
I've
30 Rock.
only ever seen like bits and pieces. Like, I don't know that I've ever watched an entire episode of 30 Rock.
Mm-hmm. 30 Rock's a
Not for
great
any
show.
reason.
I mean, I think is he still like potentially going to jail for accidentally murdering someone?
I don't think so. Because
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that case. I forget.
I mean, like, I think he may have been tried for like manslaughter or something like that, but it was like accidental manslaughter or something.
I mean, there's it shouldn't. I don't remember. I'd have to look into it. I'm not going to look too far into it right now. But as far as I remember, like it was 100% not on him. Like he was told that it was free to use however it was supposed to be used. It was a poor handling from everyone else. But it just sucks because he killed someone by accident, and like that. Yeah, it's a weird case. I'd have to look into it more. But I was just I know.
So it
I know
says
he's done anything since.
In January 2024, a grand jury indicted Baldwin on involuntary manslaughter charge. The indictment provides prosecutors with two options for pursuing this charge: one based on negligent use of a firearm, the other for felony misconduct with the total disregard or indifference for the safety of others. May 2024, Santa Fe-based Judge Mary Marlowe Summer denied a motion which was filed by Baldwin to dismiss his trial, thus clearing the way for the trial to begin. Baldwin's trial began in Santa Fe on July 2024 with 12 jurors, 4 alternates being selected. July 10th, in March, document in July 12th. Oh, so July 12th, the judge dismissed the case against Baldwin with prejudice, upholding a motion filed by the defense to dismiss the case following the revelation that prosecution withheld evidence from the defense. Summer found that Santa Fe sheriff officer made the decision, and apparently also with the prosecutor, that the evidence was of no evidentiary value and failed to connect the evidence to the case. So it got dismissed because the actual like prosecutor and stuff like fucked up.
Yeah, they
But
had evidence that they didn't.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
He very well may have actually been tried for manslaughter.
Yeah. Look, I feel for the person's family that he killed. I feel for him because from what I remember, he was told that the firearm was free to use. Like it was a safe weapon to use with whatever he was doing, and he shot and it killed someone. So yeah, it was. I feel for him, but like, yeah, he hasn't done anything since because of all that. But like that potential controversy aside, like I've never necessarily had
he's
a
done a bunch
problem
of
with
stuff
him.
since then.
Has he?
Yeah, so that movie came out in 2024. It was originally, that whole thing was 2021.
I didn't even know that movie came out.
Yeah, but he has done, including that movie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's been involved in 10 movies, and that looks like it, and some television. Oh, he has a reality TV series.
Man, he's super busy then.
Yeah, he did 8 episodes of a reality show called The Baldwins. From that, the first 8 episodes were February of this year.
Okay. But yeah, like overall, I've never hated him. I've never thought he. I think he's a good actor. I don't really have a problem with him. But like I just thought it was a weird choice to pick him. But like I said, I always thought this is like potentially more of an action film. I loved the cast. Like Sam Neill, Sean Connery, friggin' James Earl Jones, and who else? I don't know. Tim Curry. Like those are like the big names, but like everyone, there wasn't a bad actor on set. It seemed there wasn't like someone that like was just didn't fit with the whole cast. It seemed to me.
Yeah, no, I agree, and like it was a hell of a cast. Like
it was.
So I know we had mentioned Tim Curry was in it last week. I did not realize like Sam Neill was in it.
Yeah.
Like Rich, you could pick 3 different Jurassic Park movies for us to watch. Well, one of 3 of them.
I could pick 2. We've watched Jurassic Park already.
Oh, that's true. But yeah, I mean, we could watch Jurassic Park 3 or the most recent one.
Not the most recent one, the second most recent one.
I don't count the one that just came out because it's like a side movie.
I mean, it's an official like sequel.
I thought it wasn't a sequel. I thought it was like Rogue One is to Star Wars.
No, it takes place after Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, I thought it took place prior because of them going back to the island that melted with the volcano.
No, they go to a different island.
Oh, okay.
They go to a different spot, not necessarily an island. But I haven't watched it. From what I remember, like where they go in this movie is like where all the genetically modified, like unsafe for people and park use dinosaurs were bred.
So basically, they go to the island from Jurassic Park 3. Like not exactly that island, but it kind of like a similar thing. Like Jurassic Park 3 was the island that Grant hadn't been to. That was the whole thing with 3 was like the rich or the not rich people bribed him to come to the island, and they get there and he's like, I wasn't on this island. You people are stupid. Like I was on the other island.
According to Google AI, Jurassic World Rebirth take place in 2027, which is 5 years after Jurassic World Dominion took place. Which, is in 2022. So,
I haven't watched anything since Fallen Kingdom because Fallen Kingdom was bad, and then I heard Dominion was not good. So I just kind of gave up.
Fallen Kingdom wasn't bad. It was disconnected.
I did not.
It was, in my opinion, when it comes to Fallen Kingdom, it's 2 different movies. Maybe even you can argue almost 3, but pretty much it's 2 different movies. It's half the movie is on the island, and then the other half of the movie is at the what's it called?
Dude, that's most of the movie. They are not on the island for half the movie.
No, they're on the island for about half the movie. It's on the island. It's the beginning of the movie until they leave the island is about half the movie. And then the other half is when they leave the island, get to the auction, and deal with the auction stuff. And it's disconnected because, like, the island stuff could have been a whole movie in and of itself. And then they were like, oh, but we have to throw in this other thing. And then we have to throw in this girl who is a clone of someone, and she's raised in an American family where no one has an accent, but she still somehow has a British accent, even though only because she was a clone of a British person, which doesn't fucking make sense. Not how that works. And it gets weird. And yeah, so like the second half of the movie, the whole auction sequence and all of that is just, so that's where it loses me. I like the first half. I enjoy the first half of the movie. And it's honestly got one of the saddest scenes ever. Ever.
What scene?
When they're leaving the island and the Brontosaurus is like on the docks and the island is exploding and it's dying.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That is the saddest scene ever.
It's CG. It's not a real Brontosaurus.
It's still sad.
But anything else either you guys have to say about Hunt for Red October?
No, not really.
Right. Well then, Rich, I believe you have the next pick.
All right. I have some ideas. And if I told you one of them, I know which one you would pick. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I want to know, is Stars a good... Is it easy to get a Stars like trial to watch a movie?
I don't know. Let's find out.
I feel like
Stars
we looked
with a
into this
Z.
before, or and I don't know that you can get a trial.
Yeah, it does not look like it. Like they do not offer a trial. They just have a get your first 3 months for X amount of money before it goes up to normal.
Okay, then
Hang on. I'm just gonna double check the Amazon to see. No, yeah, Amazon also does not offer a free trial. Sometimes they have them when others don't. Man, Stars, what are you doing? No one's gonna watch your shit if you don't at least give them like a taste.
Okay. Yeah. Then unfortunately, so I was thinking Sam Neill, and the plan was going to be Daybreakers, but that's only on Stars.
Daybreaker sounds familiar.
It's Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe, Sam Neill, society where vampires have taken over, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know that movie now.
Yeah, I've seen it once, and it's a movie that I think about. I'm like, I want to watch again, but it's not available. So
that's a bummer. So apparently, you can get free trials if you have Apple TV Plus, but you have to have the subscription to Apple TV Plus to get the free trial.
I have Apple. I don't. I have Apple TV. Is that I pay for Apple TV? Is that Apple TV Plus?
Yeah.
The thing that gets you like Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
The rest of us do not.
Yeah. So
I do now, actually. Do you not?
Oh, really? No, there's
Yeah.
nothing on there that I want to watch right now. I
Okay.
sign up for it like occasionally, like if there's like when a show comes back I want to watch, we'll sign up for like a month and watch the show after it's finished. But actually, in that case,
Don't
if you guys
have
want to check,
T-Mobile?
yes, but we don't. We didn't get like permanent Apple TV Plus. We got 8 months or something like that, and used it already.
Gotcha. Double check. They change things. Double check your account.
But also, like, I mean, I also don't really mind spending like $3 if you guys can definitely get a trial for it.
I did see you might be able to get a trial through on Stars through Roku channel.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, I have a Roku, so that's potential too. Get Apple TV Plus free for 1 week. Oh, Stars might actually just be part of Apple TV Plus.
Oh, I mean, if that's also, I mean, I'll look into that too.
Let me sign into Apple TV Plus now.
Yeah, same.
Has been locked for security reasons. Why is my account locked?
You got booted out of your Apple TV account?
Yeah. Did I unsubscribe? It shows when the last time was that I actually used Apple TV. You know when it was? When that Godzilla TV series was airing.
Oh, right.
Okay, but while we figure this out, one of the options I was thinking was Daybreakers. If we can get an easy way to get Daybreakers, then I want to do that one. The other option, I wanted to give you guys the choice. And that one would be it would be Tim Curry, and it would be either Muppet Treasure Island or Home Alone 2.
Okay. Well, let's check on the Daybreakers. Drew, are you able to check your Apple TV?
I mean, on their website, it sure does not look like Stars has anything to do with Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, I just
Interesting.
clicked watch, and it's asking me to open the Microsoft Store to get Apple TV app. No, I want to just watch it on. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't look like it.
And like I searched Daybreakers, and it's not on Apple TV Plus. So unless there's some way to do secondary subscriptions on here, which I don't see other than the Major League Soccer season pass.
Yeah, so maybe they stopped doing it then.
Yeah. So that's out of the question. So yeah, I want to give you guys a choice. I'm down. As far as I know, I don't remember ever watching Muppet Treasure Island. I know you guys are suckers for Muppets, or at least Cobb is, and I love the Muppets. But also, I love Home Alone 2, and so that's why I couldn't choose. So I'm giving you guys the option. The choice is Tim Curry, and it's either Home Alone 2 or Muppet Treasure Island.
Listen, Donald Trump isn't in Muppet Treasure Island, so
Yeah, I honestly I was going to pick Muppet Treasure Island anyway because
All right.
I
They're both
I
on
don't
D plus, so it's easy
yeah
either way. But okay, yeah. I was really hoping to be able to find a way to do Daybreaker because like that could lead us down a fun path if we were to go Daybreakers, and then maybe whoever's next would pick Ethan Hawke. Because I don't really know who else is in that. Well, Willem Dafoe, and Willem Dafoe would probably have a direct connection to Kevin Bacon. So like that would probably have been our way to end this. But instead, we're gonna go Muppet Treasure Island, which that's probably gonna be a little bit harder to find a connection to Kevin Bacon. Because the casting for Muppet Treasure Island is obviously not a lot of people. It's like all voice cast.
and that's the thing. So you have the voice cast.
Frank Oz is really the only Frank Oz and Billy Connolly maybe. I'm just looking at the Google the Google casting.
Well, there's a couple people in this that would.
Well, we have to get from Muppet Treasure Island to then we have like 2 movies to get to.
So this will be I guess this is the
third
fourth
one. No, this is the third one. First one was Rogue One. Second one was Red October. Third one is Treasure Island.
But we're going from that Schwarzenegger movie.
No, but we weren't counting that one as the first one. We just used that one to pick a random actor from.
Okay. I thought because that's how usually it goes is here's a movie, find Kevin Bacon, and then that's how you so the movie that we started with, the way I was looking at it is the movie we started with was the Schwarzenegger one, whatever it was.
Well, I was trying to make sure that we each got 2 picks this way. So like we each got 2 picks with this being like the goal.
Yeah.
Versus like coming off of a movie that was just kind of picked because we needed something.
Yeah.
So this way it's like I get 2 picks, then Drew gets. So I'll pick next after Treasure Island, then Drew picks again. Then Rich, you have to pick the one that connects us to Kevin Bacon.
Which also means that Drew has to potentially look into things. We need to find the steps to get there, is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
So starting from here, like you have to think strategic to find a way to also get us to Kevin Bacon.
I'm going to pick Kevin Bishop, who played Jim Hawkins, and I've never heard of him before, so he may have never been in another thing. No, he's been in other things. Never mind, I'm not picking him. He's got too elaborate of a filmography. But yeah, you are not wrong. Like from here on out, like I don't think we should try too hard because that's kind of the thing is like we don't want to like stack the deck in our favor necessarily. Yeah. But I think like each of us just being mindful does make sense.
And if I can't find a movie that attaches an actor to Kevin Bacon, we lose.
And it's your fault.
I mean, it could potentially be my fault. You know what? I also blame Stars because Daybreakers has a bunch of good actors in it. Like I'm sure, like I said, Willem Dafoe probably has a direct connection to Kevin Bacon.
I mean, it's okay. We could get from Muppet Treasure Island to Willem Dafoe real easy.
Boondock Saints, because Billy Connolly is in.
Yep.
Is in this. I just saw that. Yeah, Billy Connolly is in this movie as Billy Bones. So Billy Connolly to Boondock Saints to Willem Dafoe probably to Kevin Bacon.
I was going to say Norman Reedus might also have something with Kevin Bacon, but I don't know.
Actually, like you're not wrong. Like even if Norman Reedus doesn't have the direct one, I feel like a Norman Reedus movie might. Or I mean, look, I'm just throwing this out there. We shouldn't do this, but I'm pretty sure we could do Treasure Island, Boondock Saints, John Wick, and then something with Kevin Bacon.
Look, I'm all for John. Like if you pick a John Wick film, like those are star-studded films.
So it was like a week. There's a little bit of a tangent. It was like a week ago. I forget. Erica was doing something, and so like I just turned the TV on, and it was just John Wick, and I only wanted to watch the beginning of the movie. I just wanted to watch up to the point where the Russian gangster beats up his son for killing John Wick's dog, and like that scene where he's on the phone with John Leguizamo, and John Leguizamo is just like he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog, and the Russian gangster is just like, oh, and hangs up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was ready to have John Leguizamo killed for punching his son, and just immediately like, oh shit. You know what? I don't know that I ever watched the fourth one. I know I saw the first three.
I also haven't. I think I've seen. I saw the first. I don't know if I watched the third. I might have watched the third. I can't remember, but I haven't seen the fourth, and I haven't watched Ballerina.
Yeah, I also have not seen Ballerina, but all right.
I did just find another direct link to Billy Connolly, or from Kevin Bacon to Billy Connolly.
Nice. Billy Connolly is one of those actors where like he has been in just enough stuff.
Yeah,
that, like it works.
All right.
Also,
so Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah, Muppet Treasure Island in 2 weeks. Get a note of that. So I watched Wednesday season 2.
Nice.
That's important. You know what? Like Netflix is doing their split the show into 2. So it's I'm assuming it's 2 sets of 4 episodes. So it's 8 episodes. My big complaint, it's been 3 fucking years and they made 8 episodes.
She's been busy.
She hasn't been that busy.
She's been on a lot, dude.
Just saying. But they also filmed this over a year ago, which is one of those, it's like you guys sat on it for a year and you only made 8 episodes. That seems silly.
Yeah.
But the first 4 like continue to be good. They've expanded the family more in this one. So like Drew, I assume you didn't watch the first season on Monday.
Nope.
But Rich, you did, right?
I did, yeah. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was like I thought it was a little overhyped, to be honest. Like I thought it was a decent show, but like it was everywhere.
It's one of those things where like I think they did a fantastic job with all the casting in that show.
Mm-hmm.
And they continue to like this in the second season, like the new casts are like fantastic job with that. But like, you know, it is a little kind of paint by numbers both seasons, but I think like that first season was also unique for what it was doing, that it kind of worked out. The second season feels like more of the first season, and they're just kind of elaborating on things a little bit more. But they've expanded the rest of the family into it. So Pugsley is now also a student at the school, and the parents are staying at the school too, kind of. So Morticia got like wrapped up in being some sort of like administrative staff at the school. So Gomez is just there too. They're not in every episode. They're not like front and center all the time, but like they're there. Like they're part of the larger ensemble now in a way that they weren't last season.
I don't like that because the show's about like I know I know you just said like they're not like main cast. They're not in every episode. They're recurring characters instead. But like it's still like it takes away. I don't know. That takes away the teen drama focus of her by bringing in her whole family here because it's. The idea is supposed to be she's separated from her family in this school of extra special people. Like adding her family to it, just like I don't know, defeats the purpose of the show, in my opinion.
So I see what you mean. I think the one thing that kind of doesn't help it, but makes it not feel as like, oh well, like you're just making the Addams Family now, is like it is still very much focused on Wednesday, and the family being there is really more of a like elaborating on Wednesday's like like these powers that she has. Like that is kind of like the entire focus around like Morticia being there specifically is those like psychic powers that Wednesday has, where she sees like visions of things.
Mm-hmm.
Her aunt also had, and her aunt like went crazy and disappeared. And they have a book that like kind of like talks about the powers, but Morticia won't give it to her.
Yeah.
So like they're using that as like a elaborate more on like the familial connection without ever really focusing on them too much. Except Fester, they did once again like there just like in the first season there was one episode in this stretch where like Fester was like very prominent. Like Wednesday was there too, but like there were scenes where it was just Fester goes and gets himself purposely committed to an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Which is just funny because like it's Fester, like he's actually excited to be.
Yeah, it's Adam's family, so it's funny.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
Thing. Yeah.
But yeah, like overall, I think it's fine. I think like again, the cast is still a lot of fun. There's how like there was kind of that like core group of students that like Wednesday begrudgingly kind of like worked with.
Yeah.
Like they don't really have that going on. Like those characters are still there, but they're not really interacting like they did in the first season, other than her and her roommate.
Yeah,
but even their relationship,
Enid, right?
Yeah, even their relationship is a little strained in this one because in this season, they introduced like a new student who I want to say she's like legitimately like a new student, that idolizes Wednesday, along with a few others, because of what happened in the previous season. And this girl keeps kind of like popping up and like taking on like almost like a like an assistant role to Wednesday. And so that's kind of like putting like a little bit of a divide between Wednesday and her roommate. But overall, it was still an enjoyable 4 episodes. They're all like hour long, so at least like it's 4 episodes, but they at least feel like beefy. So yeah, it was good. They went to camp, which was exciting because that's kind of like Adam's Family Values.
Yeah.
They introduced a zombie in this season. Well, he's kind of a
what?
zombie. A zombie.
A zombie.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Not like a traditional like bites you turns you into a zombie. He's just a corpse that has a clockwork heart. So like when his heart gets restarted, he's just kind of a mindless zombie because he literally has no brain left. It decomposed 100 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was good. I'm looking forward to. They're not making us wait very long. The second half comes out in September, so it was like a month apart, which almost doesn't feel worth it. Like, just give us all 8 if you're only going to wait 30 days.
Yeah, I don't understand the.
You know what it does? It gets 2 months back to back.
Yeah, it gets 2 months of subscriptions.
Yep.
But honestly, does it? Like, if I'm a lot of people, I'm sure, if there's someone who's getting Netflix for one or two specific shows, like you're gonna just wait until the whole season's out, and then you're just gonna binge it. When Cobra Kai was 4 fucking setting or 3 or 4 parts, I still haven't watched it because it's like it took too long to come out.
Yeah, like I actually still have to get to the final part. I think it's the final part. But yeah, you're right. Like they took so long that like I want to watch it. I just kind of keep forgetting about it because I also just never turn on Netflix. Had somebody at Erica's work not mentioned Wednesday, I would have not realized it was out, and we would have never signed in to watch it.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I've been considering dropping Netflix because I just don't really use it as much as everything else. The only reason I have it right now is because my phone just isn't running great, and so I can't watch anything else when I'm going to bed. And so that's the only reason I still use Netflix, really. Yeah,
which, like, hey, at least it's there.
Yeah.
But they also just keep raising the price on Netflix, which makes it, like, not worth it. Like,
and
we do get Netflix through T-Mobile, and it used to be free, but because they keep raising the price, like, we have to keep paying the difference through T-Mobile, and, like, I am getting to the point where it's like, we should probably just cancel it, and we'll just, like, subscribe when we want to. Because we're not actually saving that much money anymore by letting T-Mobile do it.
And the frustrating part is they incorporated, like, an ad version of Netflix, which, like, you know, $7, $8 a month for Netflix with ads, that's not that bad. Until you read most movies and TV shows are available, and not all movies and TV shows are available.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I forget.
I found that out last week.
There was something we did for book club, or we're going to do for book club, and when I went to try to watch it on Netflix, it was like, oh no, this isn't available to you because you have the ad tier. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. What's the point of the ad tier if I can't watch everything you have on there? Get rid of the fucking mobile games and just let me watch my movies.
Right,
cares?
like I'd be okay with that if the ad-supported tier was like free. It's like I'm still giving you money and I'm watching ads. You're probably making more money off of me than if I paid you the extra $5 or whatever. It's probably even more than.
$10.
Is it $10 more to not
It's
have ads? Fuck that.
$17.99 for no ads.
All right, this still probably would make more off me watching ads, but either way, like if it's nothing with ads, okay, take away content. I'm still giving you money and have ads. Why is there content that's locked to me?
It's bullshit. You're giving them money. There shouldn't be locked content. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Netflix is like, and look, I've been saying this pretty much since streaming became a big thing. All of these companies are finding out that it's very hard to run a company like this without ads because they want to keep the prices low, so they keep the people here, but you can't keep the prices low and pay everybody. So you need ads. And I'm all for, and I'm fine with having ads on certain services. I don't mind it. When I go to watch like Old on Peacock or whatever the beach movie was on Peacock, and it gives me an ad during the fucking movie, no, fuck you. I'll watch an ad during a TV show. Don't put an ad break on my fucking movie. And don't make the ad break every 10 minutes. That's bullshit.
Yeah, like I really like the ones like Amazon does like the 2 or 3 minute ad break in the front of like movies and whatnot. I don't mind that. I don't mind. Give me a 5 minute commercial or series of commercials before something starts. But like if I'm watching a movie, don't give me 2 fucking 4 minute commercial breaks in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially when like technically you're paying for like the premium one. Like Peacock makes you watch ads in the middle of things, even if you have the premium version.
Yeah. Like, and that's I've had people complain to me that like, oh, they had HBO and they turned on HBO and they got an ad for something coming out on HBO before their show, and then they had their show and they were pissed off. Like, I'm paying you, why am I getting ads? It's like, did you get an ad during the show? No, it was just beginning. Okay. That's just upcoming features. Like, that's a quick 30-second thing. Who cares? You didn't get interrupted. They're just letting you know what else you may like on their service. That don't get. I would have no problem if all of my shows started with, like you said, with 2 to 3 minutes of like, here's ads and things, and then everything else is uninterrupted, and every show starts that way. That would be perfect. That's the perfect life for me. But yeah, it's obvious. Like, not having ads is not cost effective in this organization, and you need ad revenue. You need to sell ad space to corporations so that you can make money and make the big things, especially when you're fucking Netflix and you have 1 million shows that no one watches.
Yeah, and that's why they keep raising their prices too. It's like between the amount of money they put into production for some of these shows, or just like salaries for like actors and stuff like that, because they do get people that like then go on to become popular enough that they have to pay them like a lot of money.
Netflix literally greenlights everything. They greenlight everything.
But then like they pay licensing for shows that people don't want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and movies, like they have so much garbage on that platform that nobody goes to them to watch a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then the things that people do want to watch, they either lose the rights to because those are the things that are popular, and the actual like rights owner would rather put it on like their own platform or something.
Yeah. Peacock.
Or exactly. Or they cancel it because it didn't get the crazy numbers they wanted it to on the second season.
It still got Stranger Things numbers.
Yeah, it still got perfectly good numbers for any other like network television show.
Yeah.
But it didn't get what they wanted it to, and because they spend too much on it, they'd rather just go release the next big thing than give something else another chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wednesday though was very Wednesday. Like, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next half in like 2 weeks. Whether I watch it in 2 weeks, who knows? But it's available.
Yeah. And I'll watch it when it all comes out, but I say that about everything. I still have to watch The Acolyte. I still have to watch Cobra Kai. I still have to watch Agatha all the way. I'm getting there. I'm getting to things. coming from the guy who just started rewatching Bleach from episode 1 because the finale comes out next year.
When you say episode 1, do you mean like episode 1 or like
Episode
1,000
1
Year
of
Blood War?
episode 1 of Bleach.
Nice.
And I don't know if I'm going to skip fillers or not. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the mid-arc fillers, or like the mid-war fillers. So I'll watch everything, including like the Bount arc and any other fillers that lead up to the start of the Arrancar War. But then any sort of fillers that go in between that's when I'll skip.
I think that's a good call. It's like, because the Bount arc is like between two, like it's between Soul Society and the Arrancar.
It's after Rescue Rukia and before the Arrancar.
And it's actually not bad. Like, it's not the best, but it's not bad. And then like once everything else starts, all of the filler that falls in there is often not very good.
Yeah.
I think the one exception might be there's the like false Shinigami arc or something like that, where like their swords rebel against them or something.
Yeah, the Zanpakuto Rebellion.
Yeah. I remember that one being decent.
I think that one's decent. It's just the problem is it's in the middle of the Rancor War, like in the middle of Hueco, all of that stuff. I think
it's actually towards the end of it too. Like, it's when everyone is back in the city.
I think it's immediately after Ichigo's fight with Uruki, however you pronounce that dude's name. Like, I think it's in the middle of that fight, because that fight takes place over the course, and like he uses his second like the demon uses his, or the Arrancar uses its second transformation, and it, like, I don't know, it after he does that and kills Ichigo, it breaks and goes to that Zanpakuto arc and then comes back or something like that. Or after the whole fight and Ichigo recovers from being Hollow Ichigo, it then goes to that or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch everything, even like the soccer episode and the baking episode. I'm going to watch it all. And then once it gets into the fillers during the arcs, that's when I'm like, no, I'm gonna pass.
I mean, that is actually probably the right move. I would also say it is worth skipping the like the final arc, as weird as that sounds.
That is canon.
No, I'm sorry, not that arc, the one before that.
Yeah, oh yeah. The arc between the arc where Ichigo is losing his powers even though he should have already lost them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not the final one, but like it's the one immediately post the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that there was actually that like real one. That real one's not very good until the very end of it.
Yeah, it's like, weird, but it's canon because that is one of the 4 races.
Yeah, but like I will say, like that has a cool end. Like,
yeah,
like especially in the anime when like Ichigo's there like trying to fight these guys with no power, and like then he gets stabbed, and then all of a sudden he can see everybody again. Like,
yeah,
and then I forget the bad guy's name, but like when Ichigo attacks him the first time, and the guy like laughs at him, and Ichigo's like, "That's not my attack," and then like actually does his attack, and it like destroys their mansion and all sorts of shit. I'm like, okay, you guys made up for like how boring the beginning was with some pretty cool like end fights.
Yeah, it also just makes me laugh watching that because it's like, man, Karakura Town has so many random explosions because it's like people don't see the hollows, and so it's just a random explosion that happened in Karakura Town. That's really what it is, and it's constant. It's hilarious.
I mean, at least during the Arrancar War, that is actually like a false thing.
Yeah, they moved it and everything, which is fine. But yeah, that's it.
But cool. So, how did the rest of your Demon Souls go?
Let me tell you. If you're ever going to play a FromSoft game, at least anything prior to Elden Ring, don't use their fist weapons. Bloodborne's fist weapons actually are fine, I would say. I think Bloodborne has fist weapons, and they're good. The problem with the Demon Souls fist weapons specifically is it's your fist, and the reach of the weapon is maybe like 3 or 4 inches off of your fist. there were so many times that I was I was in the enemy's hit box. I was on them, swinging and missing. That, like, it boiled down to hit and run tactics for a lot of bosses. Meaning they would have to do an attack, I would have to dodge it, run up to them, and there's a running attack, and that gives me that extra range to hit that hit. Or that the enemy will, like, stand in the right way that I can actually hit them. But it was fun, and then it was frustrating, and then it was fun, and then frustrating, fun, and then frustrating, and it's like, it was a back and forth of, like, starting each stream, crashing out, and then getting the rhythm back, and figuring things out, but still just, like, not fully clicking, and there's several reasons to it. I need a new capture card, is for starters.
Really?
This capture card, it's not, like, I don't know if it was the PS5. I don't know if it was Demon's Souls. I don't know if it was my PC. But, like, remember how I defined a workaround for the delay in Legend of Zelda, where I had to, like, use a video capture source, use my capture card as a video capture source, and not use the software that Elgato gives you for it. So I tried that with Demon's Souls, but for some reason, over the course of maybe an hour, maybe even less than that, it'd be over the course of 15, 20 minutes, the audio would desync. And it would be but it would be slow, but it would eventually be noticeable, and it would throw me off. To the point, like, I could walk up to a wall, punch it, the whole punching animation would happen, and I would watch the audio of the punch happening for the viewers, and the monitor would show it, but I wouldn't hear the punch. And then about a second or two later, the punch would happen on my desktop audio, and it would be so bad to the point where like, and I don't know if it was all audio or if it was just my attack audio. Because when I would notice it happening, I would have to close out of the viewer screen and then open it back up.
That sounds PC related, not necessarily like the capture card, like a combination for sure.
But the fact that the reason I had to do that is because the software that Elgato tells you to use has that sort of delay in it, and there's no way to fix that delay with the capture card I have.
Oh,
like, yeah, there's no way to fix that delay with the software and the capture card I have. And I'm talking about not the audio glitch. I would notice that the audio would happen like the more I loaded the game, or obviously it's a FromSoft game, so it's not optimized all that great. I would get some frame drops here and there, and like after frame drops is when I would notice the audio would be desynced. And like the viewers wouldn't really be able to tell, but I could tell. And occasionally, after it got bad enough, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we can hear two hits. We can hear the hit when you attack, and then the backup hit or the backup audio when you're just standing there." So like that was a little frustrating to me, and I was like, I was getting annoyed with that because I had to play on the capture software, which has a delay. And so like my dodges weren't always perfectly timed because I would have to plan them early. I'd have to read the tells well before. Like I was dodging super early. Like the final boss, I was able to figure it out. I was able to figure out when to dodge, when I could get things off. But it's still like, it is frustrating because my build was like, I was supposed to be able to parry things, but because I couldn't get the perfect parry to get the visceral attack on the enemy after the parry, it wouldn't really work. Or I would, and since I couldn't have a shield, there's really not a lot of attacks I could actually parry. It was only weaker attacks that I could parry, so like it ended up being a lot of the game was kiting one enemy at a time, killing them, and then going back in, getting the next enemy. And like if it became more than 2 or 3 enemies, there was no way out of it because I just, with the fist weapon, I had no reach. I built my entire build based around faith because I started as a priest, and I started with 8 magic. So in Demon Souls, if you have less than 10 magic or less than 10 faith, you cannot learn spells for magic or faith-based spells. So I had over 10 faith because I started as a priest, and I only had 8 magic. And I was like, all right, well, I'll just go with faith spells. Well, all the faith spells, they're called miracles. They're all healing and shit. And there's really only like 3 or 4 that are really worth it. And the one attack spell that you get takes way too long to cast. And it takes all of your MP to cast it. So it was worthless. It was incredibly worthless. The best weapons in the game for the fist users are the lamest looking weapons in the game for the fist users. It is just a clothes iron. That's all it is. It's called the Iron Knuckles, and it's a clothes iron.
Nice.
Yeah, it's frustrating because there's weapons called the Hand of God, the Hands of God, or the Hand of God, and you can get 2 of them, and you can run around with 2 Hand of Gods. They suck. They sound cool, but they suck. They have natural, like 50 blunt damage and 60 magic damage, which isn't that bad for a weapon that can attack that many times. But they have really bad scaling. So in FromSoft games, the more you level up your certain attributes, increases the damages your weapons will do. So if you have, and it'll give you a scaling grading. So if you have an A scaling in strength, the more you increase your strength, the way more it'll like every 1 point is a 1 point increase in damage or something like that. Whereas like if you have a C or a D scaling, it'd be like every 3 or 4 points is an increase. Well, these Hands of God, it has scaling for strength and faith, and I believe the scaling can be an A scaling. I have to look these up now. I believe they can either be A or B scaling for both sides, for both faith and faith and magic, faith and punching. No, it can be B for both sides. For faith and magic, it can be a B each. But in order to upgrade them all the way, you need to get a special kind of soul that you need specific tendencies in the game. So you need to have the worlds be set up a specific way to encounter a specific demon to get these souls. And you need to get, there's only like 5 of them in the game. You need to get all 5 of them. And your damage stays flat at 50 blunt, 70 magic, but it just increases the scaling by not a lot. You start at a D rank, and then you go to a B rank, which, like, isn't great. They're the coolest looking fist weapons in the game, and they suck. Whereas the Iron Knuckle, the version I went with, since I was a faith build, is the Blessed Iron Knuckles, which give you a little bit of HP regen when you're carrying them, has an A ranking faith scaling, and has base damage of 97 blunt physical and 92 magical. So base damage alone is stronger than those weapons before you take into the account of the scaling. And I was only adding scaling into faith because it was an A rank scaling. So I wasn't even getting the strength scaling, so the B rank wouldn't have mattered. And it made me so mad. So yeah, like, don't ever use fists in this game. Don't ever use fists. I waited until pretty much the 3rd to last boss and before I increased my magic to 10 and learned a magic spell. Because I was allowed to use magic, but I figured since I was a priest, I was going to stick to faith. I wish I had learned magic sooner because it was a big help. I had to fight an entire boss with just items because I could not hit him with how bad my reach was with the knuckle. He moved too fast, and I just couldn't get I couldn't connect, even being in his hitbox. So like I couldn't even like dodge and run up to him because he had too quick of a reaction time. It sucked. It sucked. But like the 3rd to last boss I beat was the hardest boss in the game. It's called Man-Eater, and it is the worst boss because you fight it on a bridge, and you can fall off the bridge, so insta death right there. And when you're in the fight for X amount of time, I don't know like how they determine this, but after a certain point, another one of the bosses come out. So you have to fight 2 bosses in this one arena that is just a back and forth bridge. That's it. It's weak to fire, so I went and got a fire-based weapon. I was doing only a little bit more damage because again, I couldn't hit it. So eventually, like when I did finally learn magic, it was the only monster I considered cheesing for this run, because even though I didn't hide in a spot that he couldn't get me and just attack him with attacks, I killed him primarily using fire, primarily using magic, because there was no other way I was going to kill him. After I got the first one down, I was then able to focus on the second one, and I was able to punch him a little bit more, but it ended up being just stay away from him and use fire, and use magic. The final boss is fun in this game. He's hard because he has an ability that will de-level you. It'll kill you and take away one of your levels. He hit me with that twice. Almost a third time. But he hit me with that twice. Which sucked. Luckily, I had leveled up a few more times before going in to fight him. So then I didn't have to worry about losing my magic to not be able to cast my fire spell. But I did make sure the last hit on him was with a punching weapon. Was with a fist. I did kill the final boss with a fist.
Nice.
And it was a hard run. There was a lot of points, especially over the last few days of streaming it, that I was just like, I almost threw in the towel because like the slight delay was getting to me, and the range and the reach. Would I do this again? Yes. I would absolutely not with this build. And I was even thinking about it and talking about it, and like if I do this again as one of my stretch goals for next year's anniversary stream, the whole count, the whole survey will exclude priest, the clothes, the weapon, and the class. Everything else will still be on there, but you can't pick priest, the raggedy clothes, and the fist weapons. And you guys can choose any other weapon. I would do it again. I think it'd be really fun to do it again and see what other weapons, and see what else you guys would build for me. But also, like, maybe I'll try that with, like, maybe a Bloodborne or something. I don't want to do a build my own build for a game that I haven't played yet, so I still need to play, like, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I've never played them.
For some reason I thought you had played them.
No. My first ever FromSoft game was Bloodborne. And then my second was Demon's Souls. And then third was Elden Ring. I never played the Dark Souls games. I never got into them.
I knew that they weren't like your like originals, but I thought you had gone back to.
No, unfortunately not yet. But like maybe that's something I could do down the line. It's also, I don't know, are they available on Steam? Because at this point, I'm not likely going. Yeah, they're all available on Steam, so I'll probably play them on PC if I get them at any point. But I'm not likely to try something like this again on my PS5. Not until I get a better capture card or find a better way to use this capture card. Yeah, it's just it's rough.
Because you're actually playing on your monitor, right?
Yeah, and like the hard part is like, and I thought about using one monitor to have like plugging in HDMI into one of my monitors so that I can have like the game up on there, but the audio is still going to be delayed. And so I would have to find a way to mute the audio for me over on stream just for the game, but still have it played everyone else, which I could figure it out. But I get all the audio all coming to the same headset. And so it's just like,
you have one of the decent Elgatos, don't you?
I got I don't
like the
remember.
HD60 or something like that.
Hold on, let me see if it'll say what it is on it. I don't remember what it is. It's like the HDX60 or something like that. It's the cheaper version of that version.
Okay. So maybe
HD60X.
maybe the cheap. So maybe that one does just have a bunch of limitations on it. But I know like most people do have it set up where like because the capture itself has like the two outputs, one for your PC and one to go to like a TV or something.
Yeah.
And that's usually what people do is like they have their gameplay output for them goes to a separate device and they just have that with that audio. And then the gameplay and gameplay audio feeds to like OBS or whatever on their
Yeah,
computer.
I would need to find a way to pull both my stream audio, like the audio for any sound alerts or anything, as well as the game audio to the same headset. That's the problem with doing that, is I don't know of a way to do that. Because I'm using just a wireless Bluetooth headset that uses a dongle. So it's not like it's I know there's streamers out there that their main setup is a 2 PC setup where one PC is the game, the other PC is the broadcasting system. And
but
like
that's also different because they're actually playing the game on the PC. You're
yeah.
having issues using like the PS5. So like
Yeah,
using
but
the
it would
console and your PC, like that should be fine.
yeah, and it would there was definitely some like not when I first started. Recently I've been noticing a lot of like CPU issues with my PC. Like
I mean, it is
I
also
was
5 years old.
Yeah, I was using I was playing it a few weeks ago and it was running at 100% CPU. Playing Demon Souls, which it shouldn't have been running at 100% CPU because I'm playing the game on the PlayStation. Over the past few days over the past like week or so, it hasn't been using as much. I learned that I can't have TikTok live stream on my PC when I'm doing this because that kills my CPU. So I have to actually use my phone to watch my TikTok live chat. But yeah, so I need to finagle with my PC and see if there's issues. But like the delay, the audio glitch was weird. But like the latency on the capture card is just it's built in. Like not built in, but it's part of, from what I've read, it's part of the software that Elgato tells you to use, and none of their other software works with this capture card. So it's specifically the software and less the actual card itself.
Yeah, I mean, and that could be. I actually didn't realize until last time that you actually had to use that software. Like I thought the capture card, like I thought OBS could just recognize
It can.
your device.
It can. And like I never tried that until Link to the Past. But then I tried it with this and I was getting that audio glitch. And so I don't know what was going on with it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's very weird.
So yeah, but like the rest of the run, like I was finally able to actually beat Demon Souls. Not actually beat it. I beat it once before, and I came to the conclusion. I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure my first playthrough of Demon Souls, I was a priest. I remember using a mace, so I think my build was very similar up until a certain point. I think my build was very similar to the build I had, where it was just a priest with high faith. With the exception of the armor, like I had higher armor in that run. But yeah, it's which makes me laugh. But yeah, and I got the I guess the real ending. There's two endings to the game. One ending is so after you beat the boss, you go down to an area and there's a final boss after that. Which is just like, it's not a real boss. It's something you just have to wail on for a little bit. It barely hurts you if it hits you at all. Like, I don't think anyone's ever died against this boss. I think you have to try to die against this boss. But after you kill that like final little piece of crap boss, you then get the option of either killing the maiden and being consumed by or taking over the great demon, the great one, or letting her put it in slumber and you can leave. When I first played it, I left. This time, I killed her and I gave in, and I got a trophy for killing her and giving in to the great demon, but I didn't see a trophy from when I left. So either that's the true ending, or somehow it glitched and I didn't get the ending the first time I played the game.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But it turns out you're the bad guy the whole time.
Aren't you always though?
It's yes in Demon Souls, questionable in Bloodborne. There are fan theories that think you are the bad guy in Bloodborne.
Really?
Yeah, because of like there's certain areas and certain like lore drops that you get from reading some of the items and item descriptions that are just like, all right, am I actually supposed to be here? Kind of questions.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't play those games. I don't follow those games. I had never actually like heard that.
Yeah, there's Reddit thread, am I the bad guy in on there. There's fan theories that like the question of who the bad guy, according to AI, Google AI, in Bloodborne, the question of who the bad guy is depends on perspective. The player character, the hunter, is tasked with hunting beasts and cleansing Yharnam, but the game explores themes of manipulation and the ambiguity of good and evil. While the hunter's actions often lead to the death of many, including beasts and even innocent people, the underlying motivations and the nature of the entities driving the events blur the lines of morality. So, like, there's a lot of people that question whether or not you're the bad guy. It would be a really fun thing to actually look into and do some research on. It would, I would have to do a lot of research and things like that I just don't have the time for. That'd be a fun video to make or something.
Well, if you didn't stay up till 4 a.m. playing games, you would have time.
I still wouldn't have the time for it. I need to not have a real life job and be able to spend my time making video essays about whether or not you're the bad guy in FromSoft games.
You have
guys, support me on Twitch and YouTube.
Well, I think that might be a show.
That is. There Gamescom's this week, guys, so make sure to check out a lot of the trailers and stuff.
Yeah, we did game opening night live was last night, and it does not sound like there's a lot of big stuff at it.
Final Fantasy 14 Monster Hunter Worlds crossover event.
That was
so
like
nothing important.
The one thing I caught a little bit of the Giant Bomb talks over. They fucking hated that show yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I want to try to like watch it or read up on it and try to bookmark like whatever I might be interested in. Just like do another like trailer recap, like I did with what was it, the PlayStation event or whatever a couple months ago. But yeah, that's like I'm being told like that's really the only thing is Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Wilds is going through some changes, guys. They're going to finally fix the game. What's it called? Shit. What's the issues? The performance issues. By the winter release, a year after the game comes out, 10 months after the game came out, 11 months. They're going to finally fix the performance issues. They're planning on fixing the performance issues by the winter update, which the winter update will be December. The game came out in February or January.
Wow.
February.
Has it been that long?
Yep. It's been that long. It came out at the end of February, so basically March, if I remember correctly. Or I don't remember.
It does not feel that wrong.
Yeah, it's been that long. And yeah, the next big update, the third update, the only, as far as we know right now, the only new monster we're getting is this Final Fantasy crossover event. I'm not too thrilled with that.
No, that seems a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, the fight looks cool, but give me more. And then they're expanding Endgame in the next update, which is the fall up or the winter update.
They seem to really drop the ball on this one, especially after like. While I don't like the games, like World did well, and they had that like constant stream of content for it.
Yeah, so I've done videos and talks about and talked about how their lack of support is showing that they didn't have anything prepared. Basically, it seems to a lot of us that the game was rushed to release. Even though they've had the most time to work on it, the game was rushed to release. And it wasn't complete. And they have been staggering these releases for some of these add-on content because they weren't able to finish it all. And they're trying to make it a full game, and it's just they're dropping the ball. They're dropping the ball big time. It's shown that they have lost playership, that a lot of their older titles have more players. Monster Hunter World, I believe, currently has more players than Wilds does.
That's depressing for them, for sure.
Monster Hunter Rise has more players than Wilds does. that's even more surprising because in the New World rankings, it's World Rise Wilds basically, but Wilds is probably like is on par with Rise. Gameplay wise, Wilds is in my opinion the best, but development wise, Wilds is the worst. But yeah, it's I they released a like a thing about it a few weeks ago about how like a lot of their old titles, even like Resident Evil 2 remake, is outperforming in recent sales than Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, that's a bummer for them because like they really did build up a ton of good faith with like their community, like with World.
Yeah.
I mean, people like you bought the game twice.
Yeah, I mean I bought both World and Rise twice, but that was mostly because I bought Rise the second time because I wanted to play it on PC and no one played it on Switch or PlayStation. But World because it was like $10 when I bought it. It wasn't expensive. All right, I lied a little bit. The 24-hour peak, but it's still insane. The 24-hour peak of Steam charts right now for Monster Hunter World is 21,000 people. The 24-hour peak of Steam charts for Wilds is 46,000 people. So almost half as many people are playing World as they are Rise right now. Or Wilds right now.
Wow.
But it's still, this game that came out in March is only pulling 46,000 players. Yeah.
Yeah, that's no good. But now I think we will really be done.
Yeah, let's end it.
So if you'd like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us there with your dollars, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of those things help. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or at @1_quest on Instagram and Twitter. And we are at one-quest.com on the Blue Sky. You can also email us social@one-quest.com. And Rich, what is your streaming look like?
Twitch.tv/B_1. We're on video game streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I am taking a break from doing the redemption the redemption streams for all of the goal games that we had. Still upcoming is Legacy King, Soul Reaver, Date Everything, Cuphead, and I don't remember what else. But I'm going to take a short break from that. I'm going to play some Doom the Dark Ages. And I need something with a little bit more action, something that's going to be a little bit more fun. And maybe some Expedition 33. Just play some more recent games before I jump back to the little bit more of the retro stuff. But yeah, come hang out. I'm playing a bunch of different games.
Nice. I want to get back to Expedition 33, like the handful of hours I played at the beginning of that game. Good game. Enjoyed it a lot. A world map. Or like an overworld map.
You're never going to beat it.
You know what the problem is? It is not Steam Deck compatible, or at least it wasn't. That's not how I do that. But yeah, at the time, it was not even playable on Steam. So I just played it through Game Pass to see what it was like.
It's weird that it wouldn't be Steam Deck compatible.
So it's not like unheard of, especially with some newer games. Like I think at the time it was like the week it came out, and there were just some. I think it was like some issue with like the game's default graphics settings weren't compatible with it. Okay, so it is now playable on Steam.
Yeah.
This game's launcher setup tool may require the touchscreen or virtual keyboard, and some in-game text is small and may be difficult to read.
Yeah.
So
You're never beating it. You're never beating it.
I have beat more long RPGs than you have.
I'm just gonna. How's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth going?
Yeah, that's a good point.
How's Tears of the Kingdom going?
Oh, that game is. I don't like that game. Like I have no intention of ever playing that game.
Do you have the physical copy or digital copy?
I have a physical one.
Can I fucking borrow that shit? I want to play.
I told you that like a year ago. You could borrow it.
I had so much to fucking play lately. I'm gonna have to borrow that eventually.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like we've been over this before. I think Breath of the Wild was a very good game. It was a bad Zelda game.
Yeah.
I wanted a Zelda game. Tears of the Kingdom is a worse Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't do anything better than Breath of the Wild, and it just made a bunch of things from Breath of the Wild worse.
I'm trying to, listeners, comment on this anywhere you see it posted. What games has Cobb brought up that he's started and not brought up that he has finished?
I mean, I've beaten Persona 4 twice. I've beaten Persona 5 twice. So that's about 700 hours right there.
But that's only, I guess you can count that 4 games. That's only like 4 games out of the how many games you've brought up on this podcast. That's all look, I'm just joking. Just teasing.
But you know what? Like, I get a lot, like, I do a lot of Game Pass games and, like, try them out. And sometimes, like, I want to go back to them, but I just never do because, like, I don't have that, like, drive to. Mm-hmm. And then, like, something like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, like, I want to play that, but I also just, like, don't. Like, I want to finish the story. I don't want to play the game because the gameplay got repetitive. But, like, I was enjoying the story.
Yeah. I want to go back to that now that I've done everything on hard mode just to, like, do the story and experience. I don't know. Hard mode's probably going to be a pain in the ass because a bunch of extra stuff I'm going to have to fucking do to keep powering up. I don't know, man. That game. But alright, let's wrap it up.
Alright. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with something else to talk about. Bye.
Bye.